Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Sherm in the Booth. My name is Sherm. You guys are some true Chicagoans for coming out in January. It's snowing outside, it's freezing, and you're at the fucking club at 1 a.m.
Boys with the bass, yeah, boys, bass.
Who am I talking to right now? You're famous.
Free food, free drinks, music, girls. Let's go.
Do you like it? Cool. If you don't, goodbye.
I'm missing the most important part.
Boys with the bass, yeah.
We should throw like a crazy bar mitzvah party.
This is crazy. Send me stems. I finished it.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Just wait, you know it kicks in like 3 to 5 seconds afterward.
Yo, what's good, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and I cannot believe it's officially 2024. Hope everyone had a fantastic end of the year. 2023 was quite the year for me, but you know what? We're going to kick it off with one of my favorite episodes ever. Episode 224 features my dear friend, Colton Bachar. Now, many of you know him from his incredible work as a videographer, but I'm telling you, there is so much more to him that you guys will all hear about coming up on this interview. We had such a great conversation chatting about his journey, and I have an even deeper level of admiration and respect for him on so many different levels. Colton, I value our friendship and our relationship so much, man, and you really have helped me become the artist and person that I am today, and it's an honor to have you on. It's taken us long enough, but here we go. Let's get into it right now so you guys can hear this story for yourselves. This is episode 224 with Colton Bachar. Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to Sherm in the Booth. You are looking at an official camera setup from a videographer who I know many of you know very well. My man, Colton Bachar, is in the booth right now, and goddamn does it feel good, brother.
Hello.
Wow, that was like, hello,
Hey.
NPR. Like, it was like...
No, thank you for the intro. That was
Of course. Well, let me keep going. And
Okay.
I was thinking actually about what I was going to say in the intro earlier today, and I just want to be completely honest with you when I say that you've been one of the most influential and important people for me in both music and personal on many levels, bro. And
Wow.
You have helped me become the best version of myself, and you've pushed me to be the person and the artist that you know that I can be. And in so many instances, I've said, if Colton believes in me, then I can fucking do this.
Damn.
And I wanted to tell you that.
Wow, dude.
Like, for real, man.
Thank you. Holy cow. That's high praise, man. Like,
Because you've been there with me for, like, so many moments, man. Like, music, we'll talk about this. Just the times that you have said, Sherm, go out there and fucking kill it. Or afterwards, you know that I killed it, right? You being the first person that I gave a hug to, my wedding day, knowing that you were there, taking care of all that stuff, and sharing that experience with me and Maya, like, I don't know, I think when I got into this business, the music industry business, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of fake relationships, and when I met you, we just had this instant connection. And now I consider you one of my closest friends, and fuck, I'm officiating your wedding next year, you know, like,
let's go.
So I just wanted to just say my piece and speak my mind and say how important you are to me and how much I appreciate you, man.
Dude. I mean, ditto. Like, I just... Dang, we got deep really quick.
Right away, man. You know this is gonna get deep.
Dude, no, I know.
We'll laugh,
Of course. But yeah, like, honestly, dude, like, it's been such a journey. It's been such a journey. Like, so many highs, so many lows, and, like, yeah, like you were saying, like, I feel like having met you and to see, like, your drive and your vision as well has also impacted me.
Right.
And, like, just like seeing your dedication and your consistency and all that stuff, like, those are things that I strive to, like, be better at. And, like, like, our relationship has been just, like, so cool in that way. It's, like, been, like, kind of professional and not professional at the same time.
Yeah, that's
which
so
has been
true.
great because, like, sometimes business and friendships, aren't always like the best idea.
They don't.
But like, we've made it work.
We definitely have. I mean, remember in New York this summer and you go,
dude.
yo, just like a heads up, FYI, this is the first time we've hung out and I haven't had a backpack on. I'm like,
Yeah.
you are literally not wearing a backpack with a camera
I didn't
right
even
now.
have a camera other than my phone.
No, and
Which is crazy.
I was like, how is this the first time that's happened?
Yeah, and we've known each other for
Long time. 4 or 5 years now?
at least, well,
2019?
2019. Yeah. That's crazy.
When we first met through our mutual friend Flynn, shout out to Flaninho.
Flynn.
And I actually thought about this too. You said to Flynn, or Flynn told me, or you told me this at some point. Then Flynn was like, yo, Sherm needs a videographer. And you're like, I can't work with Sherm. Like, he's too big for me or something. And I'm thinking back to that now, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that was that long ago. And even now, I'm like,
dude.
I'm making some headway. I'm getting to a place where I like. And back then, you're like, he's too big. I'm like, that's not true at all.
Well, okay. Well, at the time, Alex Schenberg, one of our friends,
Yeah.
mutual friends as well, was working with you a lot.
That's
and like,
true.
I don't know, like, I'm trying to be polite and not step on people's toes. And at the time, you guys were working together a lot, and Flynn said that like you needed someone. I'm like, but I don't want to take away like opportunities from Alex and stuff. And I didn't know you like that close where I like knew how
we
you
had
would
met.
react,
Right,
or
right.
like and at that time I was relatively new friends with Alex too, so I didn't know how
true.
he was gonna react. So it was,
That's
like,
interesting, though.
Just like that was like the first thing that went through my mind.
Yeah.
When asked that question, but
So it's like
Thank
that in
God.
the videography world, too, because it's like that
Oh,
in the
for
DJ
sure.
world, right?
yeah.
I mean, I guess we're all trying to, like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're all trying to get paid, and it's about that opportunity that,
Yeah.
for lack of a better term, you take from someone else.
Right, or that you create yourself, like
Yeah.
through, like if you gain attention or something like that.
For
But,
sure.
yeah, it's all about okay, who's gonna see this? Like, who am I working for?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is in that space in the same city doing the same things?
Yep.
And it's just like being aware of people around you, and it's not like like none of our jobs are like safe, I guess, but
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
like-
so true. That's so true.
especially when you're coming up, it's like, well, every opportunity is like the next big opportunity. So,
Yeah, especially
so
when
it's
you're
like-
getting started, right? Like,
yeah, you have to take everything and like every. Oh, this is my first time shooting at Trophy Bar or Trophy Room, bro.
Oh, you
First time
did
shooting at
not.
Trophy Room, dude. I
You
thought I
did
was the
not.
goat. I thought it was the goat, dude.
Brother.
Like finally getting into there, like after hearing you guys. Like,
you just unlocked a part of my brain that I shut off. That's literally the building that my day job is in. I forgot that it was right
it's
there.
in that building. Holy
Yes,
cow.
Trophy.
Across from Fame.
Yeah,
now,
of course.
Now Fame. Fame was not there yet.
Why'd you think you were the shit?
Well, it was just like every time I got into a new venue
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, we're making progress. Like,
Yeah.
it was an opportunity to create work that could get in front of other business owners
Yeah.
or artists.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, like, I guess I didn't really know it at the time, but like, every venue has an owner that's in a specific circle.
Yeah, that's true.
Or whatever, and it's like, or with like a certain like agency,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep,
And it was
yep.
just all about, okay, how can I be on the radar of as many people's circles as possible
Mm-hmm.
on the off chance someone needs something.
Yeah.
Like that was, I mean, when you're starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll do anything to just like get that next gig for the next weekend.
What was your fee at that point?
Whatever. What?
What was your fee at that point?
Oh man.
$100.
I think I started because I was listening to podcasts like pretty early in my career. I think, and I was like taking advice and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started at like 150, 250
Okay. For
I think
recaps, raw
per
photo.
recap.
Yeah.
Per
Okay, so this
recap.
is for
And
recap.
then if it was like photos, I'd be like 200, like just $50 because
Yeah.
like I'm not that big into photos. Like I'd rather do the video stuff. So
Which is something to note that I think a lot of promoters don't understand. I think some
yeah.
DJs understand, but like doing both is very difficult. And I have complimented you this, and you deserve your fucking roses on your photos, bro. Look behind us.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. These are literally all you, dude. Except that one, actually. That one is Alex.
That's
but
true. That's
we
true.
weren't working together at
Speak
that
of the
point.
devil.
Yeah, shout out to Alex. You're over the wall.
Yeah.
These photos, to me, like, you've captured these moments and they're high quality. And we have a special guest coming in right now as well, Perry Sherman.
Hi, Perry. Hello.
Hi, Perry. What would you like to say, Perry? You want to get up on the couch with Colton? You want to get interviewed?
Hello.
Anything to say? No. Oh, yeah, you're sweet.
She booped it.
She did. How's that peanut butter? Did you gain a couple pounds?
I can smell it.
Oh, yeah. You should get a kiss from her. It's
Oh,
literally like
boy.
a wet peanut butter.
I'm
like,
good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Here. Up.
Yeah. Get up there.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, that's not what I meant. She heard you say kiss.
Yeah. Good girl. Okay, lay down.
Together? Yep. Oh, okay.
Down.
Down.
Lay down. No. Lay down.
No.
There you go. Okay.
Good girl.
You want a sip of beer?
Yep. Go here. You just lay down over there. No. No. She just burps.
Yeah, she's gross. Just like her daddy.
Hey.
There you go. Just pet her. We'll just continue to talk.
All right,
We'll
cool.
act like Perry, the cameras aren't here, okay?
Sure.
Cameras aren't here.
Yeah.
Totally forgot what I was saying.
We're talking about all the photos.
The photos.
and just,
Okay,
like,
yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank God for you, Colton. That's not the first time I've said that. Like, it's so interesting living in this video world, the short form video world that just exists on social media, and
Which
now
you
just,
were recently forced into as an artist.
Yes, exactly. You have to master it, what
Shout
people
out
look
TikTok.
for. But there's something to be said about a photo, and I think that actually is something that like all of mankind can understand, because like a picture's worth 1,000 words, whatever, like a song, like music has no language, right? And I think there's a lot of truth to both of those. But these photos, to me, bro, like I go into that moment. When I watch videos even from those days, like it's a different feeling because I experienced it, but seeing a photo of it is like I get to kind of like go into the moment and like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, versus the moment being created for you with the video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you see a photo, you're instantly brought back to memories like seen with your eyes,
Yes.
not through someone
Like
else's.
this is a museum in here.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
so you look at it and
Yeah.
you imagine different memories than I have.
Yes.
And the majority of my memories are actually the videos.
No, that's true.
But,
Yeah.
But like, yeah. So it's like when you can only see one frame versus 24 every single second, your mind is forced to create like what actually happened. So you have to like think about like all the different things that happened at that time,
Yeah.
or maybe you were wearing a shirt or like with someone that like that you hadn't seen in forever, and you're like, oh my god, like it was so dope to see him and like get that photo, like, and that's why it's special or whatever. you know? And that'll be different for every single.
So for you then, I mean, when you were getting into this, did you start with photography? Did you start with videography?
I started with both. Right
So
off
you
the
started
bat.
with both.
Right off the bat,
Okay.
I've been doing both. It was, I don't think it was really ever a choice. I just like saw an image and I was like, either chose to take a photo or I chose to take a video, and it was kind of just based on whatever idea I had and if it better served as a single frame or multiple. And yeah, I never really thought about it until this is so funny that we were talking about my professor, because so my professor back at Loras College, shout out Seth Myers, we were basically, he created this new class, or at least like different parts of curriculum that would kind of focus on the social media side of things, which a lot of schools like just don't like, or they're not able to keep up with it, at least, right? And so this was kind of his like version of like trying to keep up with things and like create like relevant value for students. And he was like he would look at all of our like Instagram bios, and he would be like he would help us craft them and like describe ourselves as artists. And at the time, my bio said like photographer and videographer, and he was like, why do you have photography first if you like video more? And I was like, Oh, like the part, the type, I guess the parts of me that I put out into the world are how people are going to view me.
Yeah.
So like curating,
Perception
like
is reality for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
curating that brand to be like, no, I'm a videographer, and like if someone asks me if I do photos, yes, but like that's not like my priority, and like I would love to post more photos, but like at the same time, that's like if I'm gonna put time into creating a post and like, you know, just doing all the things like that you have to do now for social media, it's like, well, I'm probably just gonna do that for video because that's what I want to get paid to do. Photos are awesome for the reasons we've already talked about, but like, yeah, that's like, I guess that's like my mindset.
Well, what about the mindset when you're shooting and you are, let's just say it's one of my shows, right? And you're doing photo and video for me. Because there are moments that you could certainly do either or.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is, okay. So this goes back to, I want to talk about this, or I think I have in a YouTube video, or at least touched on it, where basically you have like your hybrid shooter and like the number one, like, so a hybrid shooter shoots both video and photo during like the same event,
right? Or
like the same moment or shoot or whatever.
And real quick, which are common or rare? Let's say in the upper echelon.
I would say
world.
very common, but to be extremely good at both, very rare.
Okay.
Very rare.
Okay.
You usually, a lot of the hybrid shooters will lean one way or the other.
Okay.
They'll either like prefer one or the other, like I do, and then, or they'll just be crazy talented at one or the other. Like, and like again, there are some rare instances where like, it's insane.
It's like a savant, though. Yeah.
The amount of like the insane photos alongside insane videos. Like, I can only name like maybe 3 people where I would be like, yeah, like these are probably some of the best hybrid shooters in the world. Like for live events, like probably about like 3, where I'm like, yeah, like they in any environment, like let's say they were taken out of music and like put like to shoot a race or football, like they're going to outperform like anybody. Like once they get, I should be careful here, not to offend anyone in like in other industries, but I truly feel this. Event videographers and photographers have to have some of the fastest reactions, and like you have to change extreme setting changes.
Yes.
Like, in the middle of a moment.
Yes.
Like, and it's do or die, and if you get that shot, you get it or you don't, and it's gone forever, and like you missed like a really important moment that the manager or the artist or the label could have requested.
Yep.
And if you miss that one shot, like so basically what I'm trying to say is like the pressure to get that moment is intense.
Yeah.
And then to go back to your question, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm shooting your show. Let's say you've kind of given me a heads up, like for example at North Coast, you planned on like doing the t-shirt cannon, and a couple other things during your set. So
which helps you obviously.
Oh, definitely, because it eliminates me having to make a split decision mid-show on whether or not to get a photo or
which
a video.
Has happened when I don't tell you and I decide to do
happens
something.
All the time.
Yeah.
And like that's just the nature of the beast. But like
it's true.
But like it is fantastic when you can have a conversation with an artist or a client and they like you ask them, okay, what is your priority?
Yeah.
Do you want photo to be the priority? Like, so like, let's say I get a banger like shot. Would you prefer it be photo or video? And a lot of times clients will say video because then you can take a screenshot and I mean, it's not the same quality, but at the same time, you still have a still that you can use in promo like stuff.
Right.
So yeah, and after they say that, it's like, okay, I'm going to wait for a big moment and I'm going to lock that in with video.
Yeah.
Like, let's just say the priority is video.
Right.
I'm going to lock that moment in and like, I'm going to just continually do video until I get that moment. And then I'll be like, okay, boom, got that.
Photo,
We need a couple photos now.
Yeah.
Now we need to get some banger photos. Okay. And once I do that, back to video, because like with a photo, once you got a moment, that's the moment. Like, it's not like it's not like you're delivering. I mean, you are delivering a bunch of photos, but it's not like the client paid for all the photos to be in succession. With a video, people are paying for multiple clips being put together in succession. So like, so to have like just extras on deck for certain parts of the videos, like,
got it.
That's where, so like, goes back to priorities. But like, if that is the priority, then I will overload on the video side. This sounds bad, but like get a couple mediocre shots according to whoever's standards, and then
whatever.
Call it a day. That's
what's so interesting about that is like the fact that people have to be hybrid in order to be like almost marketable as a business, right? Like as photo or video.
Yeah.
But when you look at like the Lollapalooza experience that you had, right? Like this year, you just did editing, right?
Yeah, I did 3 daily edits.
Right. But you also have done just video, and there's also people just doing photo, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Which is still a lean team, but when you think about like a team like that with like big artists, right? Like we know Mason Ripple, who's been on the show before. Like it's him, it's Ethan, it's Trit, right? Like they all have their roles, right?
They do.
And it's just crazy to think like it requires that much of a specialist who's very good at working with other specialists.
Yeah.
And that's what I find so interesting about the video and photo world is how really different they are.
Oh yeah.
But doing what most would consider to be damn near the same thing.
Exactly.
Right?
Oh my god. Okay, that's such a great observation.
Yeah.
Like for example, like let's say photo stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like we've done some press shots, but like I don't really know how to work with like a remote flash and like in a set studio with
That's
like
so true.
with like standstill
different.
lights and not flashing LED screens at my face and stuff, you know? Like that is not an environment that I thrive in because like I just don't understand the workflow. I don't understand maybe I mean I understand lighting to a certain degree, but I mean I'm not a professional.
That's a whole different thing.
Like shout out to our gaffers and DPs and all those guys that like they literally shape light for a living. Which
So
is
I
crazy.
just did a photo shoot with Crystal Light Studios.
Yeah, I saw
Travis.
Yep.
And they turned out great, but he's got it like set up there, right?
Exactly.
Like, and he's done this many times, and he's done it for many different types of people, and he has sort of his choreography, I would say, to it, honestly, right?
For sure.
Like we had 350 shots in 45 minutes, right? And you narrow it down to 50, and then you narrow it down to 25, right?
Yep.
But how he shot the lighting and stuff, how he really like yielded it, but also like harnessed it, I guess, is something that is once again very interesting to me.
Whole nother skill.
It's a
whole nother skill set.
whole nother scale, right? And
Yeah.
I like he had a black wallpaper behind me, right? And we had a white one.
Yeah.
And to the naked eye, to the average eye, I should say, actually, I'm like, oh, it should probably be white, right? And he goes, no, it should be black because it helps me like bounce the light off and really bring you in as the like main focal point, right?
Yeah.
So how he did that with the lighting was like insane. But once again, that's a specialist right there, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, like, so to literally, like, I'll fess up, using the white background was kind of like a cheat. Like,
Is it?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, okay. The great thing with a white background is it's going to be really touchy with highlights.
Yeah.
So like, and imperfections. So I can spot the imperfections like really easily.
Yeah.
I can solo you out if I want to.
Right.
Like I can like, there's a lot of things that I can do with a white background that I wouldn't be able to do with a black background. And because we were in my apartment, we needed as much light as possible.
We were in his apartment too, for the record.
Yeah. Like literally,
Everybody's doing this in their apartment, by
Yeah.
the way. We're in my fucking apartment right now.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, "Where's your studio at?" I'm like, "My second bedroom."
Yeah. So true though. So true. Like
People probably think that about you too, bro.
you gotta make it work.
Yeah.
You do. Like, yeah, you gotta make do with what you have. Like
Always.
for so long, I was like, I mean, you watch like YouTube and all these people that have just these crazy setups, and then like maybe you see a behind the scenes shot and you're like, what? They're in their bedroom? Like what?
I know.
I had no idea. Like they made it look so good, so professional. And it's
That's
like,
the crazy
no, but
thing about the cameras, bro.
everyone's in their bedroom. Everyone's in their closet. Like whatever it is.
No, we
like,
can't afford that shit.
Yeah, come on. We're not paying by the hour.
You can't fucking afford that shit.
Oh my gosh.
That's incredible, though. So I want to rewind it back a little bit more because it's important to me that people know you as much as I know you to a certain extent today without the years. You are just a fucking dude, the oldest brother from a big family in South Dakota who has now found themselves traveling the world, shooting some of the world's biggest artists, like being hired by festivals and making a name for yourself and being a true freelancer. And again, I just want to show you props there, but I mean, make sense of it for somebody that is like, he's from South Dakota and has like a big family and now he's like a dance music videographer, right?
That is the
Perry's like, yeah, we want to know.
That is the reaction when people always ask. Like, I mean, like it's classic small talk, right? It's just, where are you from? It's like, well, do you want to know like where I'm actually from or like where I came from to get here today?
Right.
And it's like,
yeah, dude.
So I say a lot of times when I say South Dakota, people are like
very
so confused. The reaction is always like, oh, South Dakota. I don't think I know anyone from South Dakota.
No, nobody knows anybody from South Dakota. That's like the thing.
So so that's been like really funny after moving here to like have those conversations with people.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically born and raised Brookings, South Dakota.
What's the population? How many kids went to your high school, I guess? Better question.
In my house?
No, how many kids went to your high school?
At the time that I was there, probably like 600.
Okay. So it's
which
not
wasn't
like
bad.
Yeah.
No, it's a Brookings is growing a lot right now. They were at 32,000. I'm pretty sure they're at like 35,000 plus with a D1 college.
How far is that from like Sioux Falls, Sioux City?
1 hour north, 45 minutes north of Sioux Falls.
Okay. And I like my day job is in logistics, and I've talked about that on the podcast before. Like that is a populated area, actually. Like
yeah.
There's I don't know if there's a million people there, but like
no,
it's not so like the boondocks.
It's rural, but it's not like rural. Like South Dakota is weird. It's like all the towns are like an hour apart.
Okay.
But when you're out of town, it's like usually a little bit bigger. Like you'll have a couple thousand, like anywhere from 2,000 to 8,000.
Okay.
But you have to drive an hour. And in between that, it's nothing but corn and beans, and like you can see like forever, and it's just you're just on a highway going like as fast as you can without getting pulled over.
Yeah, of course.
Just to get to where you want to go.
I mean, that's the goal. You
Doesn't
got
always turn out
McDonald's and
that way.
Walmart though.
Yeah. We got Chick-fil-A. Come on.
Oh fuck yeah! I know, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah. That's what people are thinking though. Like,
oh, I
is there
know,
a McDonald's
right?
there?
No, one time, no, this is no joke. One time, I told someone that we ride buffaloes, and they thought I was dead ass. And
oh my god, dude, Jesus.
So yeah, that's not a lot of people know about South Dakota. So it's like,
are you proud to be from South Dakota?
I'm proud of where I came from, and like my family and my mindset and my morals and all that stuff. Like,
certainly, yeah.
That's what I'm like most proud of. I mean, South Dakota as a state is cool. Amazing wildlife and like nature and conservation programs and all that stuff out there. My family's a big hunting family, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How old were you when you shot your first gun?
Oh boy, like 10.
Wow.
Yeah. Ever since I could. No, first gun. Oh, I guess a BB gun. I had a BB gun when I was like a little bit younger than 10, probably 8 or 9.
So you've gone hunting and you've skinned and gutted animals.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Deer, elk, turkeys, pheasants.
I haven't.
It's
Ball cheers to that.
It's
all about your family.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Family upbringing with hunting is like crazy. Like, I mean, I'm from Indiana, which is I have so many friends that are hunters. Right, I still have a friend who sends me pictures of caribou and moose and things that he kills.
Nice.
And I'm just so fascinated by it.
It really is. It's a really cool industry. It's a really cool, just like way of life.
Yeah.
Every industry has its dark sides. Hunting industry is
of course, just because it's associated with guns, but it's a very regulated industry with the
very
seasons,
much
with our good friend Ray, right? He just went hunting for the first time in Indiana, where Paige's dad took him, right? And you can only have 3 kills for the entire season. I think it's two females and a male, or something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
vice
I don't
versa.
know. Every state has its own rules.
Right, but the dad goes out there all the time and will just like pass up kills because he's waiting on the right one. So it's like, obviously, like to to an extent, it's like, messed up to like shoot an animal, I guess, right? But how it's regulated, I think is pretty impressive.
Well, it's a management of an environment. And a habitat.
Definitely.
That's the best way to look at it. Is
right.
Like when overpopulation of any species is going to hurt another species.
That's true.
And it's like, as like stewards of the outdoors, or just people that care about like the earth in general, and a lot of people disagree, and that's okay, but like as like a steward of the outdoors, it is like your responsibility to make sure that like the earth and like its habitats stay as healthy as possible.
Right.
Sometimes
she's just gonna join us.
Sometimes that just means that a certain population needs management. And that management means the harvesting of animals, and it's not like those animals go to waste or anything either. It's like it's just transfer of energy, like like from dust you came, into dust you'll return. Like it's the same thing. Humans aren't exempt, minus the whole harvesting thing.
Yeah, of course. Jesus.
Yikes.
Speaking of fucking animal on animal action over here, Perry, you cannot come in here and chew a fucking bull penis while we're having a podcast, dude. She just comes up in here and is like, how you guys doing? She just wants to hang out. Like, God, I'm happy she's happy, but this isn't good for the audio viewer.
No.
So give me a moment. Can I see this? Rolling.
Nice. And we're back.
Anyway, so hunting. Just to close the loop on that, it's fucking crazy. And what's like the biggest kill that you've had?
I mean, like, so there's like a way of like scoring deer. I've never shot an elk. My dad's shot elk and like sheep and like all these like crazy exotic animals and stuff. But I feel like I've had a 5x6 deer, so it's like five points. 5 on one, or it might be. I think it's 5x4 actually. So 5 on one side, 4 on the other. Points.
Damn.
Points, and then like you score each point based on how long it is.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of different measurements, and I think that this particular one was like 139 inches or 140 inches, something like that. Jesus. Which a big deer is anywhere from like, again, depending on the area, anywhere from 135 inches to like, once you get into the 160s and 170s, that's like a really, really big deer.
Yeah.
So
now I feel like we're on Joe Rogan.
We are. And we're on shrooms. No.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We're here promoting the new Alpha Brain.
Yeah.
Mushroom
also sponsored
edition.
by Liquid IV.
Yeah.
Actually,
sponsored by Liquid IV. Literally everything. Oh my God, Perry.
Brain powered gummies. All of that.
Any of the viewers here have dogs? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard
him.
Yeah.
I can hear
him.
the dog in the background. So you
we
must.
are dog owners. We have needy
must be
dogs.
Yeah.
Would you say Nala's a needy dog?
Oh my God. That's an understatement, dude. That's an understatement.
German Shepherd. She is an amazing dog.
She
but
cannot be in a room without having like a hand on you.
Oh,
like,
Jesus. So how would this be going if we try to do a podcast?
Oh, well.
She might chill.
She knows that I won't get up to let her in, but she knows that Shy will get up to let her in.
Oh.
So, depends on who's in the room and how hard she'll try.
So she has her motives. And she knows how to get what she wants.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it crazy how smart dogs are without being able to talk?
It's insane. I know, like, her mood based on her body language. I know, like, dude, it's insane. Like, she knows when we're going to leave the house because, like, we start to get ready and, like, there's all these routines that we have that she
pack
just...
your suitcase, too.
Oh, she loses it. she goes straight into depression as soon as I open the suitcase and put it on the bed. She just curls up in her bed and like won't move until I leave.
So when is she like most happy then?
Most happy?
Yeah.
When it snows out and we're going to the park.
And you're both there.
Oh my
you
gosh.
and Shy are both
yes,
there.
the most happy. I mean, I guess she's probably the happiest dog in the world anytime we're in the same room.
Yeah. Same with.
She does not like when we're not in the same room.
Oh no, that's literally like that's what Perry wants. That's
Yeah,
what she wants. It's just her mom and dad together, and I'm
Together,
like, look,
yeah.
dude,
It's crazy. They're
it is
so expressive. So like, she's letting you know
that she loves me.
Yeah. Well, she's not happy that she doesn't feel loved right now.
No, she doesn't. Well, you brought a big bull dick in here, dude. Like you had it all made, and we want to let you in.
Stuff.
She's tough. She's tough, but she's a cutie.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let her go.
Yeah,
I think
she
she'll
is.
calm down. We'll just continue
She
with the
will.
podcast.
She will.
This is real life,
she'll
people.
chill.
Like I said, we're at my apartment. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is how it goes sometimes. So to kind of move the conversation from you're the son of a hunter in a big family in South Dakota.
I'm the oldest of 10 kids.
10 kids.
10 kids.
Okay, 10 kids. Just to set the stage for the next chapter in your life.
Yeah.
How old were you when you, I guess, became interested in even being creative? I mean, was there anybody that influenced you, like a friend or a relative or anything like that? Did it just come to you?
No influence. Not early on. Not early on.
Okay.
So the first thing is like, I guess at school, I was never big into school. Like
Yeah.
math, English, history, all that stuff. Could not stand it.
It's the worst, I agree.
And but art class was and like sports. I played soccer, but mostly art class. I would look forward to that 1 hour or 40 minutes or whatever every single day.
Nice.
Like for the whole every time I was at school. Like
Yeah.
just waiting for art class. And so I think that was kind of like the beginning. I've actually won like a bunch of like wildlife like painting and drawing contests. Like on
Have you?
Yeah, like on a national level.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm big into like I know like the different softnesses of lead to get like a specific like look that I'm like going for if I'm coloring with like black and white pencil or something.
What?
Like, yeah, like I've painted with acrylics, oil paint, like
That's amazing, dude.
yeah. It's so that's kind of like my introduction to art, the big ominous.
And how old were you?
Word.
That was high school? said?
No, that would be grades. That'd probably be like kindergarten to high school.
How old were you when you won these competitions?
Fourth grade.
What?
Fifth grade. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
amazing, dude.
Yeah. I mean, at the time I was just like, these like, they're kind of like annual contests for like different wildlife magazines and stuff.
That's so dope.
So I would like every year I would like,
Guess you're in the right place for it, huh?
I would like paint or draw and then, like send them in every
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
And then eventually like I got third and then second and then first. And
Dude, fuck yeah.
like, yeah. So
You still proud of that?
it's cool.
You should be.
I mean, like, what's cool is like I will forever have an appreciation for like textile art,
Yeah.
which just means like physical. You make art with physical things,
So dope.
like paint or oil or bricks or paper or cloth, whatever. I have such an appreciation because like tedious hours and hours and hours and hours of work and attention to detail, and then if you mess up, you have to figure out how to fix it and make it so that someone didn't know that you messed it up. Like,
yeah.
and like sometimes you don't have the option to cover it up or whatever, or like or even just like when you're drawing like a figure, so like an organic shape, which like a human or like an animal or something. Those proportions have to be so, like the proportion of like how long the leg is compared to the size of the head compared to the size of the body. Like getting proportions right on organic shapes is like so difficult. So difficult.
That sounds difficult.
Because otherwise they look like a balloon animal or like a or like, you know, or look like someone from Family Guy. Like
yeah.
You know, so that's what I guess like it I guess it immediately instilled in me this major respect for anyone trying to express themselves through any form of art. That was like the first thing that I noticed is like how much time and effort it takes to create something truly like good and or great or like in the eyes of whoever.
Like
right?
what it does take.
Yeah.
All the factors.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to think where to go from. Oh, from there then. Again, and when I say like I won these competitions or whatever, like they're not anything like crazy, like it's not like I won a gold medal at the Olympics, like it, like, and I'm not trying
this
to
is
downplay
classic
it.
Colton.
I'm not trying to downplay it, but
this
like
guy is hard for him to
like
compliment
for
himself,
example, like with this point and shoot camera. As soon as like my mom and my grandma on my dad's side, my grandma Bachar, she would she like immediately like she's also like a drawer and a writer and stuff.
Okay. This is where maybe it came from then.
I wouldn't say so because like I was like showing these like I was like creating all of this art and stuff.
Yeah.
Before that, and she was just like, "Oh, like I see that you're like doing this. Like, have you tried this? Have you tried entering like your stuff in this or whatever?" So
that's cool.
For example, like one time I like with my mom's blue Canon point and shoot. It's so old. And,
I remember those. Yeah. Dude.
Oh my gosh, I like climbed a tree to get by like a robin's nest.
Yeah.
And like took a picture of like all the eggs. It was like during the spring too, so there's like a lot of like bright colors and flowers and stuff in the background, and that ended up like winning a competition and getting put in a magazine. And like I was just like 14 at the time.
That's
or something.
awesome.
So like just little signs like here and there, just kind of like bumping me in the right direction.
No punch in the face though.
No, not until I spent $40,000 on college. And now I have unbelievable amounts of debt for a piece of paper that I'll never use. But you know, we can get into
that's
that
another
some other
podcast.
time.
Yeah. to bring up the artist aspect of it, that resonates with me because I never liked school. Like I just didn't. It just didn't hit for me. Like, you know, to give you an example, like Spanish class when I was in middle school. I wasn't good at it. I didn't like it because there was some teacher who, you know, like learned Spanish, right? But hadn't had many actual experiences in the culture. So I'm just learning vocabulary and I'm turning to the right to ask the football quarterback if he wants to play basketball, right? Like there's no application there for me. Like it doesn't resonate with me. But when I went to Spain and I studied abroad, I literally, my first semester when I went to IU, I took French because I was like, fuck Spanish. Like, I'm going to learn something else. And French is way harder than Spanish, for the record. But I liked being able to speak it because the teacher was French, so she was really good at sort of like setting up situations. And then when I went to Spain and studied abroad in Barcelona, I actually tried to go into the lowest level class. And I like used like the imperfect tense. Like I literally said like, "Me olvidé todos los español," and the teacher goes, "Get the fuck out of here." Like you're going to like the upper level. And that teacher challenged me, right? And he was amazing. And one of the best experiences I had in that was like someone on the street asking me where something was. And I said it perfectly in Spanish and I gave him the right directions. And I had like this, wow, like applying the language in real life is really special and important to me. Yeah. And then when I was in middle school, elementary, middle school, and high school, you can ask my mom about this. Like I was a very like, I don't want to say talented artist, but I really was creative. Like I loved drawing Dragon Ball Z characters. Like that's where this whole love came from. Yeah. I would just look at a picture of Goku and I would just look at it and I would draw it. I wouldn't trace it. Like I could just make it perfectly. And I did like this pointillism sketch of myself. There's a self-portrait, and like my dad thought it was the greatest fucking thing ever. Wow. And I made all this art throughout my life, and now, here I am now, and hearing you say that, it kind of like made it click for me. Like I got through school and did all the classes that we had to do, but really what always stuck with me was, yes, the the experience and like the tangible aspect of art rather than like the knowledge of history, and which is interesting, and English and but like language and art to me, like I love that
It's
shit.
a form of expression.
Yes, exactly.
Self-expression.
And that's what's so fucked up. I can't believe that they're like removing music programs and arts and culture from schools. Like that is just
insane.
How many people are there like you and me? So many.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I mean, South Dakota, like small town in Indiana. When I was growing up, there wasn't many people from my high school.
Right.
You know, I mean, we were relatively big, but nowhere near like. I'm not saying I was rural, but it was different. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now we're in this world of just
chaos.
But what keeps me grounded is the love of art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and expression.
Oh man, I will. So. Owning your own business, everyone's opinions on social media. Oh man, it's hard because so for example, a lot of clients, and this is just to kind of like, this is the back and forth, right? A lot of clients don't know this, but like I only work in music now.
Yeah,
I do not create content for anything outside of music. And that could be artists, labels, it could be events, it could be festivals, it could be brands within that space, but I don't go outside of that space, just personal choice. That's where I find fulfillment.
Okay.
I forgot where I was going with this.
You're on a roll, bro. Just keep talking.
What were we talking about before that?
Just like the fulfillment of art and stuff.
Oh,
like
right.
How you got into videography.
Self-expression.
Like how did you go from the artistic kid in South Dakota to the point and shoot camera with your grandma to, you know what, I'm gonna go to college and this is gonna be my major and I'm gonna go into this world.
Mm-hmm.
What was your major in college?
Media studies.
Super broad. What do you mean? I was telecommunications.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean what? I mean that's literally the people. in
it's
in
media.
Our fields,
it's media.
It's either telecommunications or like a media studies program of some
and they're
sort.
Like basically the same thing.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, pretty much. Oh man, I really wish I could pick up on my last thought train.
The train left the station, bro.
It did. It really did, man. I'm not gonna be able to land this plane, unfortunately. But there's like people like us. There's a lot of like. There's not a lot of programs that like. Oh, okay. I know where I'm going with this. Okay,
here we go.
Okay, so a lot of clients. Other creatives that I've worked with in the industry, like anytime I talk about only working in music, they will say, well, like, or like, basically I'll say something about how like, you know, sometimes it's hard to get paid what you're worth and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, well, just pick up a couple corporate gigs to fill the gaps or like shoot a couple weddings or commercials or like help on some bigger projects and like you'll be fine and you'll easily, you know, make $100K a year and like be able to like at least live like some sort of like higher standard of living or whatever.
Right.
But like I'm not willing to sacrifice the art for the lifestyle. I'm not willing to sacrifice my own expression for someone else's idea of like how I should like where my career should go or like how like my revenue should look or anything like that. Like yes, everyone creates work that like they have to create. But at the end of the day, like if I know a project is way too far outside of like the direction I want to go with my art, then I will not take it because like even if I am just creating like a promo ad for some entertainment company or something.
Yeah.
A lot of like even if I am creating that like an ad like that.
Yeah.
it's still inside music. I'm still helping create a part of music culture by
it's
creating
the culture.
It's the culture.
Yeah,
It's like I know, like, okay, I'm gonna make an ad to the best of my abilities.
Yeah.
So that like people who buy those tickets have that experience with music, because like music is one of those crazy like things that only humans do and create, and like some emotions are better or expressed, or maybe other people understand you better or easier through music than just a conversation like this. And I like, for me in my life, that has been so powerful. Yeah. And to witness that happen for people right in front of me while I'm capturing it has literally brought tears to my eyes. Like, like I can point out so many moments where I was literally like crying behind the camera, because I was like so, like I could tell beautiful in someone's eyes that like this musical experience and the people that they're with and like that song that just came on or whatever it was hit them so deep, and like for whatever reason they needed that right then and there.
Whether it's an artist or a fan in the crowd or something.
It could be anything. It could,
right. You've seen both. Yeah.
I've seen like from like two 80 to 90-year-old women on stage with Armin van Buuren on the main stage at EDC, man.
Yeah, that's a great story.
Like, to see these two women from a much older generation get to have that experience, and like they got to share the message with those 50,000 people that like you're never too old to rave, and like all that. Like, those are life-changing moments for a lot of people.
They really are.
It's a realization of like passions or relationship mistakes, relatability. Like there's so many parts of your life that can be changed, and that has been changed through music. And like, again, that's why I'll live and die on the hill of like, I'm not leaving music. I'm going to create like the art that I want to create. I'm going to tell the stories I want to tell, and like I'm not going to allow some big artist that like thinks they can sell me on clout.
Which has like, happened to you.
They're like, oh, come on tour, or like come shoot this show for free, and like now you can like say that you shot for me or something. It's like, no,
it's not what it's about.
No, dude, I don't care who you are. I really don't. I don't care if you're the biggest artist in the world. Like, if it's not like an environment where I believe that you're genuinely interested in creating a better and more positive and healthy culture inside of music, I'm not working with you.
Damn.
I'm just not.
Statement, bro.
I'm just not. Like, it's like, I just don't, like, it's not about numbers. It's not about like clout, status, money, any of that stuff. It's not. It's just not. It's about how can I help people realize like how powerful and how beautiful music is. Like, and you know, maybe that saves someone's life or something. Like that's like, music has literally saved my life, dude. And we could go down that rabbit hole if you want, but like, it's like without music I would not be here today. So like, if I can just like help someone else come to that realization, or even just like hear a song that helps them heal, or just come to face with something that they've had to deal with for a long time. Like,
that's incredible, Cole, and thanks for being vulnerable and just sharing that, because I feel that, dude. I really do feel that, and that's why I love to DJ, because you know, in that same world, or sort of in that same thought, what I play now, like you help me lean into being Sherm and playing sets that are Sherm, you know, and coming up in the Chicago scene, it's very cloudy, it's very industry, it's very who you know, how you open, how you close. It can be sometimes hard to be yourself, and that's not just in Chicago. That's just my experience, right? But you know, fucking 224 episodes later, it's a lot of places that this happens. So why I love to DJ and why I connect so much with music is because music has given me that when I went to go see DJs when I first started getting into this, right? I saw Avicii when he just released levels in 2011, right? When I just got into dance music a year before, and it was a spiritual experience, and it really fucking was, bro. Like, it really fucking was. And like so many other people that I got into music, it all starts with that, right? And they're like, damn, I want to be up there, right? I wanted to be up there, but I wanted to do it sort of my way through the inspirations that I had gotten either from music, from DJs, from friends or whatever. And now where I am today is such a pure place of love. And like this Zed show coming up is, I honest to God think it's like, yes, Zed's the headliner, but like this is a really big moment for me because I get to like, you know, I've played headline sets, North Coast, all that stuff, right? Like amazing big shows, but like this will be the biggest, most engaged crowd that I've ever played for, and I get to be Sherm. I don't have to be the opener for Zed, right? So my job is to be myself, and it sounds like to me like you didn't let anybody get in your way and say, yo, just so you know, like, you're doing this, right? Like, if I would have had this opportunity maybe 2 years ago, like when I opened for S.G. Lewis and Galantis, I was Sherm, but I considered myself the opener, right? And I had to go through that. I think everybody has to go through that.
Of course.
And now, and there's a certain level of professionalism that I'll exhibit, right? Like, I'm not going to go super fucking hard, but I know that, like, I've earned this through my love of music. It's gotten to me this point. Maybe it would have been shorter, like timeline, if I would have done all the things that people have done to cut corners and stuff. Maybe it would have been longer if I would have taken my time in other regards. But I feel right on time right now with this.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you see like the parallel I'm trying to draw, which is like,
Yep.
I've had so many people get in my way, including myself, trying to get to moments like this.
Yeah.
But now having that clarity and really feeling like I earned this spot, and I earned the ability. I earned it because I've been me now for about 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think when I made that switch, it was tough to go from the Chicago DJ to Sherm.
The artist.
Right. Exactly. So I know exactly what you mean, man. And I know there's a lot of other people out there that do as well, because it's hard when the art is also a business. Like, we're in a business.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? How do you separate those two things? And it can be really difficult because who I'm always trying to cater to, of course, is the fans and the people that care. But I think above all, and we talk about this all the time, is take care of yourself and do what makes you happy. And I love that you will not compromise who you are for any amount of money, for any other person. All you care about is, do I enjoy the process and the output and the final product?
Yes.
And the impact. Yeah. Impact, exactly. And,
To my detriment, for sure.
Without
a doubt.
You are absurd with your
Without a doubt,
fucking effort,
I've drawn
bro.
some lines that I should not have drawn, where like it has hurt me financially, and I definitely do not recommend a mindset like that, especially early on. Because oh my god, but
you own it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of a good story though, because you did take out a big loan, right?
Oh, dude,
you took out a loan and you.
Are we getting into
in
finances? Hold on, let me. Wait.
Yeah. Maybe take a sip of beer. And I think all I'm trying to get from just this little sidebar is, like, me too, like investing in these cameras. Like, I kind of half-assed it for a long time. Maybe not like I don't want to say the content, but the conversation itself for Sherman the Booth. But the second that, shout out to our boy Tony, who said, you need to get this shit on video, bro. What are you doing? Right? And he was literally, I was using those old fucking cameras that they can't record for more than 30 minutes. So Tony is there changing the batteries for me every 30 minutes, right? Man. Fucking love you, bro. He hates getting acknowledged, but I'm going to make sure he watches this.
Go, Tony.
And then I got these cameras, and I mean, I've said the number. Like, I invested $10,000 just into these Black Magics, just the cameras themselves, right? And I had that backdrop that I did. I mean, there's probably $15,000 that I invested in myself just on upgrading the podcast.
Yeah.
And video's expensive. It is very expensive.
Yeah.
Are you willing to say how much you?
Yeah. So I graduated spring of 2020.
What a great time to be alive.
Moved to Chicago. I moved to Chicago the day before the riots. We wake up the next day to go get groceries, and we can't because the Walmart in front that we're sitting in the parking lot is getting looted.
That's so fucked.
We got old ladies running out with TVs and groceries, and so we had to drive an hour north to get groceries after my first full day in Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
From there, I decided to add insult to injury and took out a $25,000 small business loan because I knew in order to compete in a market the size of Chicago that I need to have gear that is like industry standard, that is also a little bit future proof, so I can shoot in 4K or whatever. I need lighting, I need like microphones, I need lenses, everything, like to be able to not only just survive but also to be able to move forward and progress inside of like the Chicago market. Like just that I had to make an upgrade. I had to figure out a way to like invest in assets that could eventually create a return on investment over a period of time.
You're investing in yourself above all here, though.
What? Sorry.
You're investing in yourself above all here, though.
Yeah. Oh, until the day I die, you always should be investing in yourself. I don't care what part of your career you're in. Yeah. Some part of whatever you're generating must go back into what you're doing. It has to. If not 100, you're privileged if you're able to put 100% back into it. But like,
good for you if you are.
Yeah. But like, if you are, then I mean, like, and I know there's a lot of people that I've heard on podcasts talk about how like they started like certain businesses after they kind of became more stable. But then what they do with all the revenue from that new business is reinvest it over and over and over and over again. And they will never take anything from that business because they genuinely want to see it succeed. So like they'll never like, for example, Emma Chamberlain. Are you familiar with her?
Yes. Remind us though.
So I don't watch her a ton, but I listen to Colin and Smear. All the time, which is an amazing podcast. If you're a creative, like go watch them, please. Like they're so good, and like it's all the information is not applicable just to YouTube. It's to you as a creative as a whole. But basically, Emma Chamberlain is this. She started vlogging like very early on and became one of like the OG vloggers, like a Casey Neistat level person. And just people just fell in love with like her personality, and now she can post like any video she wants, and like millions of people will show up to watch it. She created she started a coffee company, and on the podcast with Colin and Samir, she said that it's been a couple years now, like of that business, coming to fruition, and she has yet to take a single dime out of that business, even though it's like thriving because of who she is, and obviously because of the product that she's created. It's worthy of that, but that's not even the first time that I've heard that. Yeah, from someone who's like already established, and
there are many unheard people. Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
So, reinvesting in yourself, especially. So there's kind of like two times where you like, I recommend heavily investing in yourself. One would be right away in the beginning, taking every single thing that you can and putting it back into the business or back into the art or whatever it is to make sure that that's like the best product possible.
You set yourself up for
best
success.
Experience possible.
Foundation.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. You must like every extra dollar that you have that's not going to bills needs to go back into the business if you want to make it as a creative in some way or another.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if like you're big into AI now and you're writing like AI prompts to make a living. Like you still need to reinvest back into that career to figure out how to write better prompts and like continue to stay up to date with like all the new AI softwares, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That middle ground is hard. Like once you get past that beginning stage and now you have like regular clients and all that stuff, it becomes hard because naturally, as you make more money, you create like a larger overhead. So a lot of people will kind of plateau or even just like for years stay kind of in that middle ground, and they'll never make excessive money where they can really then reinvest large amounts of money. Like maybe they can reinvest in like, oh, I need a new lens here or there or whatever. But like to completely change your business over, a couple of years span, like you need significant like funding. So it's like, that's just kind of like the treacherous road of an artist is like, all right, well, how much shit are you willing to eat in the beginning, and then how much shit are you willing to give up later down the line to live like a nice comfortable life, but still like continue to like build a business instead of like, and I guess everyone's goals are going to be different too, right? Like if your goal isn't to have the biggest business or be the number one DJ in the world or something like that, where like that's not your aspiration, then of course like your actions are going to be like, the ways that you invest are going to be different. Versus, I mean, like, for example, I don't want to be like the biggest director. I don't want to be like the most like renowned videographer, like live event person. I just want to be like someone that is like almost like an advocate or like a friend of the industry that's like everyone like is respects and is just like happy to be on like in the same space as me, because like we're just like we have a mindset of like growth and like moving everyone towards like just like a more impactful, like fulfilling like life or career. Like that's that's what I want to be known for, and that might sound like kind of lame, but
no dude. I had that conversation with myself, and I still do. I think I have a lot of goals.
That doesn't mean I'm not competitive, though.
No.
Like I will outwork anyone listening to this right now. So
yeah, bro, and you do.
Don't
catch these
hands, bro.
Don't catch these hands.
I will not sleep for 3 days in a row.
Yeah, no, that's consistent though. But I think that's actually what makes you and I a little different. And I would say I do know a lot of like DJs. I don't know about creatives, maybe that were like athletes, and not like maybe like the world's best athlete, obviously, but like enjoy the spirit of competition. Like, I don't get that as much as I really want to. I was just talking about this last night, actually. Like, I love sports so much. You know what I mean? Like, I played soccer as well. I played lacrosse, and I wasn't the best, but I really loved competing, and a lot of it was how good can I get? And I had a great experience in high school. I didn't play any sports in college, but did the frat lifestyle, which is like the most ridiculously competitive thing for no reason on every level, right? And I'm not even trying to bring that up, but like there in every stage of my life, there's some form of competition, and in the music industry, it's a whole different ballgame in terms of competition, right? Like the world of competition that I like is like a pickup game that maybe gets a little too intense, right? Because
someone ripped a shirt,
right? We just can't help it. Like we're playing 3-on-3, or it's pickup soccer or whatever. We just get into it. You know what I mean? And I don't get that in the DJ world very much on the level that I'm looking for, right? Like a lot of it is how many followers do you have, how many streams do you have. Like that's, to me, that's not always a demonstration of your true self or your competitive spirit or what you're capable of. So that effectively comes back to you in saying, how competitive with myself can I get? And what are the measurements that I'm going to hold myself to? Which I'm always constantly kind of thinking about. And why you've been a big help for me is, like, if you want to get better, you need to practice. And when that comes into being a DJ or a creator or a videographer or a photographer, like, do you go back and review your work? Right?
Yeah.
As a podcaster, you need to go back and listen to your own episodes. You just do. As a musician, dance musician, or whatever you want to call it, you need to go back and you need to listen to your music that you've released, and you need to release your music. As a videographer and a photographer, you need to go back and watch your old stuff. And by the way, I did this recently. I was just kind of going through old recap videos and just content that I've done, and it's really incredible, Colton, because I can see now the little things that you've gotten better at over the years. Like the one that I watched first was I think it was the first Soundbar show that I had that was legit, that Snake Hip show where it was so fucking dark in there, right? That was a great recap video, though, right?
Yeah.
But once you started to get into After Effects and you've gotten really good, like, we've gone through so many stages of, like, how to have a night shown, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, now where we're at with it, bro, like, we show what? Like, we're looking for, like, maybe 15 seconds at the club at this point. You know what I mean? Right? Like,
club.
Yeah.
Versus
like,
it was 59
exactly.
seconds of club.
Right.
Versus, like, now, like, it's the before and after.
Yeah.
That is way more interesting.
Because we've gone back and we've critiqued our own work, right? And I think what I'm trying to say with competition is, like, you, in a lot of degrees, in my opinion, in order to be successful, you have to be competitive, and you have to be competitive with yourself. But you don't have to. This is what I want to tell you too, because I try, and you're just a very hard worker, and I just think that's a great thing. Honestly, that's what sets you apart. But like, who are you? Like, it's hard to explain, isn't it? Because like, when you're competing against yourself, like, what is my goal? Because I'm always trying to overshoot that goal. I'm always trying to go above and beyond. I'm always trying to do better and impress myself, which can be nearly an impossible thing to do. Yeah. But it's a really interesting world, in the world that we're in, particularly in music, which, once again, is subjective.
Mm-hmm. Art is subjective. All art is subjective. Whether or not you consider something art is subjective.
And whether or not you're willing to pay a certain amount of money for that is subjective.
The value you provide is subjective. The value you think you provide is subjective.
That's the scary part of it, too, I think, for me, is like, and why I've kind of diversified my portfolio, you know, to put it in like business terms, right? Like, I got Hood Politics, I'm building that into a business, Sherman the Booth, you know, there's a lot of things you can do with a podcast these days, obviously being a DJ and a producer, there's a whole world there. But when you are starting to get into this and you are building a career, and you know, your first piece of advice, right? Like, invest in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you invest in yourself, though, is that investment going to come back? It doesn't have to come back 100%, like you said.
Well, it's up to you on whether or not there's a return.
That's true.
It's on you every time you invest money, effort, time. Yeah. It is on you. It's not up to the universe on whether or not, like I believe in the universe. I believe in God. All that stuff. It is not up to them on whether or not you're willing to make sure this investment in any way possible, in one way or another, pans out.
So true.
If I shoot a show for free, I'm going to work 10 times harder because I need that investment to pay off.
Interesting.
So, like,
that's how you kind of put a dollar sign on things then.
I actually, I'm working on a YouTube video right now where it's cost versus opportunity. And as a young videographer in music or photographer or whatever, you need to constantly be evaluating opportunity versus cost. Yeah. Cost in time or money. Yep. Those are the two variables. And then it's like, okay, earlier on in my career, the cost is excessive amounts of time for very little pay, but I'm gaining experience, and that experience is more valuable so that I can charge more in the future.
Okay. Damn.
Now, once you get to that middle tier, you're in a tough spot because you have the skills, you have the experience, but how do you stand apart? Because if you can't stand apart, then you can't charge more than everyone else around you. Yeah. Once you get to that top tier, and again, if you don't continue to invest in yourself, you won't make it to the top tier because, like, you haven't gone through the grind of figuring out how to separate yourself, and two, you haven't found something, whether that's a skill or a product or a service that you can provide that is like top tier premium that no one else can create other than you, like in your mind, and like, or maybe a team under your direction or whatever, like, or as an artist, like, only you have, like, in film, we call it our tourship, which means, like, for example, why am I drawing blanks now?
Tourship.
Tourship. Well, no, I know what it is. I'm trying to provide a director. auteur. To be an auteur, it means in the film industry, it means to be a director or a visionary whose style is so distinct that everyone in the industry knows as soon as they see a piece of content or story or whatever.
So like Scorsese or Tarantino.
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 Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of him.
So Tarantino is who you're looking for.
Yeah,
because that is
so
distinct.
That is one of the most like he is one of the most prevalent auteurs in our that we know of right
Prolific,
now.
absolutely, bro.
And so to get to that level is like, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
saying. And as an artist, big artists have like a specific sound that no one else can nail. Mm-hmm. And that's why they get paid 75, 100 grand per show, because no one else can deliver that experience with that sound right there.
Bro, you were like, the Tarantino shit is actually kind of blowing my mind, because I'm a huge Tarantino fan, right? I've seen all of his movies, and one of my good friends in high school, Tarantino, made a list of his top 10 favorite movies, and we watched them all, and I'm blanking on the name that was number one, but it was basically Hunger Games, with like all these people that were on an island and they had to kill each other, and the last one standing lived. And how it was shot, and then knowing like how he made Reservoir Dogs, for example, right?
The inspirations.
Right. And that goes into the conversation I've had so many times in this podcast, nothing is original. And that's kind of what actually I think I'm getting at earlier about, like, you know, the opportunity for me to play the Zed Show. Like, I'm so determined to, not even determined, like, I'm so passionate about playing shows that make me happy and playing the music that makes me happy. And I think that is kind of what you're getting at.
That is the value that you provide.
Distinct.
You are in that
It's
position.
not like you start doing that day one.
No. You have to have life experience. You have to create things that are forms of expression, of stories, things you want, statements you want to make, whatever it is. Yeah. You have to consistently find ways to express those things, and over time, like, this is oversimplifying artists, but as an artist, basically over time, you become better and better at expressing the specific thing you want to express. Like, so like,
I see what you
beginner
mean.
artists, they have the idea or the knowledge to express what they want to express, but they lack the technical and maybe theoretical strategies to execute it to a level where people feel emotionally connected or challenged. Which is like what I would argue a lot of art, like, when someone has something to say, it's not like, I mean, sometimes it could be like, hey, I like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, that's very like simple and well known, right? But like, when someone has something to say, usually it's like polarizing or very opinionated. Yeah. And sometimes artists get like a bad rap because like they're so strongly connected to a certain way of thinking. Yeah. And expressing themselves in that way that they kind of develop some sort of name for themselves. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do what you're saying. You could say that about like athletes too.
Oh, for sure.
You could say that about Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Lionel
Took time.
Messi.
Took some time for them to kind of like everyone knew they were talented in the beginning, right? But like,
that's what makes them special.
But exactly the fact that like there's a lot of athletes that we know about right now that are super talented and young,
right?
But like, will they be here in 10 years? How many, like, are they gonna, like, after they win that first championship, are they gonna try and win another? Like, come on.
That is so true, man. I think about it because I'm a huge NBA fan, right? And like, you know, from Indiana, I love Reggie Miller, so it just made me fall in love with like the beauty of a 3-point shooter, right? And for Steph Curry to be in the NBA for, I think it's 16 years now, and pass the 3-point scoring record, then still keep playing. Same thing with LeBron James, right? Like the longevity of that, and still too, that I think that's what makes some
tour. Those
on
are
a tour,
tours in
right?
the space. Quite like
Tarantino always had that talent,
Yeah.
and he started off by being confident in his passion and his art, whatever, you know.
And at first, he walked into rooms and people were like, "Yo, this
You're
guy's
crazy.
got a crazy ego."
Yeah, bro, yeah.
But over time, they're like, "Oh shit, he's like serious."
yeah.
Or
yeah.
like Curry and Jordan, all those guys.
Yeah,
like
man.
they were
and they keep
pretty
working.
soon. You can't deny how hard like someone is working towards, being their true self and.
That's true, and that's where I give respect to people is people that stay consistent. There are a lot of younger producers that hit me up and just looking for advice and how to make it in the game, and that's the first thing I tell them. I go, man, listen, you gotta be fucking consistent, and you gotta be your biggest fan. You gotta be true to who you are, and just make sure whatever you do, you love it. And like you said earlier, don't compromise yourself. Because it's really easy to do.
Oh,
quick
easy.
wins feel great.
Oh my god,
But
dude.
those earned wins over time when a lot of people didn't think about you or hear you out, and then guess what? Everyone's paying attention, and man, does that fucking feel good, bro.
I mean, I do have a gripe though, because it's like for anyone that's listening that is an artist that like feels like they haven't compromised, but haven't had like a breakthrough or anything that they would consider successful.
Okay.
This is you
like
calling
this.
me out, right? It
Yeah.
was about how like I'm being like too humble or something, but it's like when you make slow but gradual process, or sorry, when you make slow but gradual progress
Yeah.
from the day-to-day work, like you're not seeing any progress.
Yeah.
Like from an outside point of view, people are seeing crazy amounts of progress, but you don't see any because you're in it every single day, like grinding and like not compromising.
Yep.
And like you got bills to pay and like you're broke and like all this stuff.
That's true.
And it's like, okay, am I actually being successful because I am not compromising, or like am I just being stupid because I can't even take care of myself? And like that's honestly like something I've been like battling with a lot lately is like, how much am I sticking to my guns versus how much am I just like being stubborn and not willing to like do what it takes? And so that's like a constant battle that I have. And like,
That's a fair gripe.
so you can be you can be consistent, but it's like, if it's like, how do you quantify that even? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's easy to say, okay,
yeah,
let's
do.
be consistent, right? And it's like, okay, I'm consistent, and I'm consistently going viral.
Consistent with what? too,
Right,
though?
okay, but
Right,
let's say I'm
yeah,
creating
yeah.
content, right?
Yeah.
And I'm consistently going viral
Okay.
by using trends,
Yeah.
but I hate using trends and I hate the content that's going viral. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. Then I eat my words for sure. Let me ask you this then too. Okay. What about when you are doing your thing and then an unexpected success happens, right? Like that track that you never planned to make, or that video that you never thought would work, and then all of a sudden it does. And that ended up being something that you really enjoyed. Yeah. I think that's what's really important too, is just putting your shit out. I guess that's my, when I say consistent. And I love that you said that, by the way, too, because I think it's really important that the listeners, because most of the people that listen to this are creators themselves in one way or another.
Yeah, yeah.
Consistently do something that makes you happy and put it out to the world.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to put it out to the world, because, like, you don't have any way to get better if other people aren't, like, helping you. Like, that's another, like, really beautiful thing about art is, like, once you, like, I guess you could create art for yourself, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Now the only benchmark or the only thing that matters, or whatever standards that you have, are based solely on if the art makes you feel something. But for an artist that is interested in creating work that gets seen by other people, it's important to know how people feel when they see your stuff. It's important to know or see or hear.
Get that
your
feedback.
Stuff. Exactly. And it, whether it's good or bad, that's up to you how you digest it. It's so important, but it's so important that you put it out, because otherwise you would never have the opportunity to ingest it or to at least sit back and reflect through someone else's point of view. Because again, like, let's say we're working in our business every day today. Now let's break it down even smaller and go into a single project. Are you kidding me? I've been through that thing fucking thousands and thousands of times, and by the time I put it out to the world, I'm numb to it. I don't even know what emotions everyone's supposed to feel, or that I initially hoped someone would feel. Like, you know
you're way too deep, dude. Yeah,
like,
of course.
But
that happens with production.
Exactly. And so you get way too deep, you get way too close, and if you never put it out,
then you have not invested in yourself there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is a form of putting out your work is a form of investing in yourself. It's taking the risk of putting out something, a message or whatever that is you to your core, and allowing everyone to say and do whatever they want with it. And that's like scary as hell, but at the same time, it provides infinite amounts of opportunity and growth.
How about this? Let's take the Chicago Handshake show and promo, for example, right?
Oh my goodness.
I feel like we both went outside our comfort zones with that.
I agree.
But the vision was clear, and you helped me really fine-tune it. I remember we talked on the phone, and you said something along the lines of, like, make it very simple what you're trying to accomplish here, right? Like, make it very simple, right? Yeah. And I said something along the lines of, I'm trying to unite two iconic foundations of Chicago, house music and Malort. And how will that be accomplished, right?
I love that. I love that sentence, though. Like, for anything you want to do, whether you want to make a song, whether you want to start a business, whether you want to describe yourself to someone else, you have to be able to say it in one short, concise sentence that makes me understand who you are, what you're doing, and what you're trying to say.
Which seems like it would be easy.
You would think.
A lot of times we keep these things in our head, and then when you say it, when somebody asks you that question, you're like, fuck, I don't know how to make it simple. And you asked me that, and I just started sort of talking, and you go, stop, one sentence. And I was like, no, you're right. And we went so balls to the wall on that, and, like, I said, Colton, I know this is going to take you a lot of your time. I'm passionate about making this happen. We need to. You came up with the documentary idea, which was so awesome.
That was fun.
And all of the content that we did, me going around Chicago in a fucking old style onesie and making people drink Malort with me, and really being afraid of that. And most people would think, oh, Sherm can talk to anybody. Trying to get people to drink Malort in public on camera is not easy.
No.
Right? No. And you know what's funny? You and I know this. It worked so well, and we just stayed in the places where there were tourists and people, and I thought, okay, people will be willing to do it everywhere else, and they weren't. Right? So it's like I got so inside my head about, like, where I think or where I thought I would have success, and just learned a lot during that process, and then throwing the show and all the content that came with it. And we did the interview, and if people haven't seen the documentary, you need to watch this because it really explains it all, like the learning experience. And you interviewed me for the documentary, right? Like, that's something you hadn't done before.
I interviewed Sherm before he interviewed me.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. And
that's unprecedented.
That is unprecedented. Yeah, that's true. And just to, like, loop around what we're talking about here, it's like, you have to go outside your comfort zone and then ask yourself the simple question of, what am I trying to accomplish here, and how easy is it for someone to understand what I'm trying to accomplish?
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, again, it's not easy in any way, shape, or form.
No.
I couldn't just describe to you who I am to you, like, right now, like, in a super concise. I feel like everyone should have, like, some sort of pitch, like, on deck, you know? I mean, like, I would consider myself, like, a music industry advocate. So I'm like, I'm a videographer and director in the music industry, who helps creatives and clients. I don't know, like,
See?
tell the stories they want to tell. Yeah, exactly. This is exactly the point.
Ask
It's like,
yourself that question, whoever you are out there.
it's so important, and there's lots of exercises out there, and like worksheets and stuff that you can go through that like just just type in or even search anywhere just like elevator pitch, how to curate like the perfect elevator pitch, because the whole idea behind that is how can you describe to someone in like 30 seconds or less like who you are, what you do, or like how can I describe you in 30? How can I like sell you on something in 30 seconds or less? Like,
For sure.
You know, like from cold stranger to like I will spend my hard-earned money with you. Like, and again, there's a salesy and non-salesy way to go about all those things. But But
certainly,
definitely look that up if you haven't already, and at least just start to have that on your radar. It's one of those things where you'll come up with it at 1st, you'll reread it like a week later, and you're like, oh. No. And you gotta switch it up, right? And then you read it a month later, and this is actually how I handle all my bios. Is when if I have a realization like about like how to describe something better to my followers about like who I am or like what I'm trying to do.
Yeah,
I'll immediately change all my bios. To like what? So it'll be small iterations. It's not like I changed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, for a long time I had like, you know, videographer, or it'd be like music industry, Chicago, videographer or whatever. And then it would be like something like work to create, work to inspire. Work to create, work to inspire is my mantra, but it's not, it doesn't describe to someone who I am. So having that in my bio is actually pointless. And again, it's like, I'm not going to put photographer in my bio because I'm a videographer or like a content creator or director.
Seth Meyers.
You know? So, yeah, dude, shout out Seth Meyers, wherever you are, man.
I hope he's watching, bro. We got to get hold of that guy.
Can't find that, man. He's got too many aliases. But
that's incredible. Honestly, Colton, that is so pure at its core, like what you're trying to explain here. And damn, bro, I think that's what honestly makes you so unique and why I see you having success and continue to grow like this, man. Like you really have just been going like this, and you've had some things like this, but you've
couple, yeah.
What I always try and make clear to people is when you plateau and you think that you're supposed to keep going up, that doesn't mean that you're going down.
Yeah.
Being consistent is the hardest thing to do.
That's what keeps you at the plateau.
Exactly.
Like you can be consistent and like be middle of the pack, but like as soon as you know, like find a way to like be consistent and do that like extra 1%, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It could be learning new software. It could be, you know, like
how do you get better?
Anything, knowledge.
How do you get better? And I'm going to bring up another another NBA example, right? Luka Doncic, probably the best point guard in the NBA right now, right? Dirk Nowitzki is one of the greatest NBA legends.
I'm not going to pretend like I know sports.
Okay.
I'm just going to nod
some people
and
might
pretend like I know
this.
what you're talking. Okay.
He's a legend, right? This is a guy who won an NBA championship, one of the greatest power forwards of all time, right? Dirk Nowitzki told Luka, every summer you need to be adding something to your game.
Yeah.
To an already great player.
Yeah.
Who's young. I think he's 24 or something like that, right? And I think about that all the time, right? I don't have a season where I have a summer off, but how am I continuing to get better, building upon my game? Whatever it is, right? Where that plateau comes from.
Yes.
Okay, great. I've got it all right now. And that's middle of the pack. That's most people, right? In fact, like you said earlier.
And that's okay.
That's more than everybody that hasn't even started down here.
Yep.
So give yourself that credit.
Exactly.
How are you continuing to get better and improving your game and becoming wiser and more knowledgeable and interested and curious? You know, are you going to Amsterdam dance event, for example, like me, to learn more about the business? And then the next year I'm hosting a panel because I learned so much.
Insane.
Right?
Yeah.
Colton has proven this time and time again, right? I mean, the man is literally doing the edits for Lollapalooza people, right? Like, he is incredible. He's going out to, where did you go? It wasn't Dubai, was it?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, right?
Yep.
Well,
Shout out to my Saudi Arabia fam who's there right now.
Exactly, right? And you've shot for Marshmello and just all these incredible artists, and you've done cuts for them. And I think it's because you've always continued to improve your game, right?
Yeah. It's I guess so. That's gone hand in hand with like, I see reinvesting as not like just monetary. it's skill based.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
technical based.
That's
it's
important to know.
So like that's like I'm willing to like either spend countless hours on YouTube to learn something.
Yeah.
Or like I'm willing to spend money to like take a class, like you and I've taken classes and stuff. It's like whatever it is, and the beautiful thing too is like the beautiful thing about technical skills is a lot of times, yeah, you're learning like one technical skill, but maybe there's a technique inside of that skill that allows you to apply it to other things you already know how to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So like for me in video, like the more I learned about After Effects and the more techniques I developed inside After Effects meant that I could now apply like more and more techniques to like already existing foundations that I created like based on my knowledge of the software.
Yeah.
So like for example, the handshake event, I was really pushing I was right in the middle. I had just gotten done taking Spencer Miller's like 3D photo or like 3D
dude,
like
you did
masterclass, dude.
Oh shit in that
and
recap video.
And I was like, I am forcing myself to now apply these technical skills that I just learned.
Yeah.
Even though it's not super fresh and it's gonna take me some extra time.
Sure.
But like I'm gonna grind it out because like I wanna like make sure that these techniques like all of a sudden become almost like second nature. And pretty soon now, just because I can create a like, for example, for me personally, just learning 3D photos has been insane because of all the different variables that it takes to create that. All those variables are valuable by themselves, and I can apply like even like let's say step 3 of that process, I can apply that to something else I already know.
Yeah.
Like inside After Effects, and so like I'm sure you can say the same like with your music software. It's like you learn one thing and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna change all these sounds now. Like,
that's true.
You know, you get one plugin where like your buddy puts you on a plugin and you're just like, this is insane. Like the one thing you wanted to be able to manipulate or filter, whatever it was, you can now do it easily and with like more precision.
That's
and like
very true.
More efficiency. And it's like those small wins just hikes things up, and today's price is not tomorrow's price.
Hey,
come on,
love
that's how it goes, man. It's like you continue to do that, and like you are only capped by how hard you're willing to work at that point. No one can stop you. Like I don't care what politics you're involved in. Yeah, like hood politics. But seriously, like I don't think anyone, like if you're like as dedicated and as passionate about it as you can be, and it truly is you, like no one can stop you. Like it's just all about how much do you know and how much are you willing to learn to get to where you want to go. Like,
dude, fucking preach, bro.
I need to breathe.
After all that inspiration.
That was a lot.
After all that inspiration. Okay, a few quick questions just to round things out.
Hit me.
What has been your favorite recap video that we've done together?
Ooh, wow.
It could be hood politics, could be just Sherm, whatever.
Oh wow.
Because we brought you on the road, bro.
Cow.
We've been to Milwaukee. We've been to New York. We've been to Miami. Miami was fun.
Miami and New York will forever hold very, very like big spaces in my heart.
Yeah. Because it was just such homies, bro.
From like sitting in the hotel closet and having like Susan open up the door at like 5 a.m. while I'm still editing photos, and he got back from space and he's like, "You're still up, dude."
You were up more than Sue, actually. Somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my god, let me get Perry. She wants to join.
Oh.
Hold on. Continue.
What were we talking about?
Favorite recap video.
Oh, favorite recap. Okay, it honestly, it's probably the New York one, or the first winter one that you and I did at Soundbar. Oh my god. Hello. Do you have something to say?
You want to say something?
Oh.
Oh.
You gonna eat it? That's okay. Hey, no.
Lay down. Lay down, Perry.
Excited. Wow.
Lay down.
You should go. Oh.
Oh, she wants to fight.
Oh. Lay down.
Come here.
Okay.
Come here. Come to Dad. Oh, dude, when you turned me into an ice sculpture.
I think that's my favorite. I think
my favorite,
I think
for sure.
the winter one is my favorite just because that was the first recap that I created probably ever where I was like, this feels different.
It was different,
felt
that was a
different, and
huge
it
show.
really
That was
did.
my first big Chicago headline show, and dude, and after that, I was like, yo, you using my raw audio and turning the fucking club into a snowstorm, and I mean, we both leveled up that night, bro.
That was that's definitely my favorite for sure.
Yeah, that's such a good one. Okay, next. What are you most proud of from 2023?
Oh, 2023, man. One of my really big goals for 2023 was just to really start to break into the festival scene and a lot of or even just the live event scene inside music.
Sure.
That was one of my big goals was I don't have to be the guy, and I probably don't ever want to be the guy, but I want to be on people's radar. I want them to be yo, have you seen this kid? What's going on here? He's really talented and no one knows him. I want to that was kind of the goal for 2023. And I mean, I don't know, I guess it's again subjective if I actually achieve that or not, but I will say December is the first month in the entire year that I have not gotten flown out.
That's awesome.
So I got flown out all 11 months before this.
Dude, fuck
And
yeah,
just
man.
some stuff fell through for this month and didn't get on one, but that's okay.
That's
and,
impressive.
I just came to that realization a couple days ago, and I'm like, you know what? I was just getting out of college, dude. I was dreaming about getting just flown out even just once, dude. And to get flown out almost every single month is just amazing, super humbling, and
good for you.
It's I guess that is that's kind of the arrow pointing hey, people are noticing. And I've gotten texts and I've gotten out of the blue it's so great to see all your success, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean success? What does that mean? And I just say thank you, smiley face or exclamation point, or
and then you think about it,
or thanks bro, or I got all the I never not reply to every comment, so I'm like, thanks homie, thanks bro, to the next one, and then the next one I'll be like, thanks. So don't take this as me being ingenuine, but I try to respond to everyone, and at a certain point it's what do I say other than thank you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I completely
Or
agree.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Much love, dude.
Much love, dude. Yeah. God. I feel you on that, bro.
Come on.
I think what I'm going to do for before I think about some goals that I'm trying to achieve for next year is I'm literally going to, for better, for worse, look through my calendar year on Gmail and look through my photos. And what I'm going to do first, actually, is just write down things that I can remember that I'm proud of from this year.
Nice.
And then really go into the little things about, things that last year that I worked on to get this year. Maybe I can learn something about my process or what did work to get me there, right? What relationships did I forge, or what opportunities did I create for myself, or what inspiration did I draw from that I can then try and replicate that and build upon that for next year.
That's huge.
And I think that's why I wanted to ask you this question, because showing yourself some love and appreciation is how you will continue to practice self-gratitude and put yourself in situations to be grateful.
It's how you don't burn out.
Exactly.
You literally,
because you can keep saying, yeah, thanks.
You have to acknowledge that you actually like I said earlier, right? It's on you. If you take an opportunity or cost, it's on you on whether or not there is some sort of return.
Yep.
So when you do put in the work to get the return, you have to acknowledge it. That okay, yes, I'm not where I would like to be, but it's fun fact, you're never going to be where you want to be.
No.
You won't.
And as cliche as people say, it's
because-
about the journey. It
No.
really fucking is.
It is about the journey, because as soon as you get to the place that you said you wanted to be
never
at,
enough.
you already set a new goal.
Yeah, exactly.
You already did, dude.
Exactly.
By the time you cross, before you've crossed, like, I just crossed 3,000 followers. Woo. Okay. But it's like,
That's something, dude.
no, right. But what I'm saying is, before I even crossed 3,000, I'm like, oh, I want to try and get to 4,000. Like, it's like, dude.
It's all right.
Like,
It's all right. I get it.
It's a joke. Like, it's like, you got to be joking, right? Like, because
Right.
like, now we're just going to negate that you just got to 3,000.
Wait, did
like,
you? That's awesome, actually.
Yeah, just recently. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So it was like, and I actually screenshot it, put it on my story, and I was like trying to like celebrate like the little wins this year. Mm-hmm. And then someone unfollowed me. So that was at 2,999.
Oh,
and I was like, oh,
Jesus,
someone thinks they're funny.
Yeah, that's.
But
that's
stuff like
tough.
that, it really is, like, as funny as all of this is, like, acknowledging those little wins is so important, because as artists, like, a lot of times we're in our heads, and like there's a lot of ups and downs and emotions in play.
Yeah.
And like, if you cannot, like, no, let me rephrase that. It's not if you cannot do something, it's if you do not take the time
Yeah.
to sit down and like really look at everything, not just because like you want to be like, oh, that was a cool project. It's more like, I did that with this person in that place, like, and this resulted from that, or I'm really proud of this piece because of X.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even have to be like views or
Yeah.
comments or anything like that.
Don't
like,
even set those expectations. That's what I don't do anymore.
It needs to be, I made progress because I believe I made progress, like, and I can see it, because like the only competition is me in the first place. And like, if you're really gonna be like a part of this culture, you can't look at someone else as your competition. Like you have to look at yourself as a one of one. Like, and you can't. I'm making a lot of you can't statements, but like, it is very important.
You can't statement. I like that.
It
Everybody
is-
says you can't a lot, don't we?
I'm not gonna tell you what to do,
Yeah.
but it is so important for you to only measure successes against yourself. And if you've made improvements based on what you deem improvements, that's a W.
Okay.
And just like take your roses, and like for me, like one time I did an entire year of journaling, and then I would like, so every single day for the entire year, and then at like in like January 1st or January 2nd, I would sit down and I'd read the entire journal front to back. Holy cow, you wanna talk about like coming to Jesus moments. Like, it is a brutal, like, you experience every up and every down of that entire year, and like that will humble you and put you in such a space of like, wow, like, not only am I grateful to even just be living right now,
Yeah.
but
Ain't
like,
that the truth, dude?
but like the things I've overcome, the people I've been surrounded with,
Yep.
insane. Like sometimes I take for granted, even now when I don't really feel like I've like been in a place where I would say I'm like amongst like the top people in the industry. Like, I've been surrounded by people I know for sure that like everyone looks up to, or everyone like knows who they are, and like I've been able to work right next to them on the same team, and that is so freaking cool that I get to like sit next to some of the people that I deem the most talented people in the world at what they do. Like, insane. Like,
Fuck yeah.
So I don't like, so like, or even like sometimes I'm not like, oh man, I'm not trying to make enemies, but like, I'm not like the biggest EDM fan. I love EDM music, don't get me wrong, but I like other genres too, and that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. but like, sometimes I downplay like how big, like at EDC Orlando, like I got to do this sick recap for both Excision and Griffin, two like very, very, very different artists.
Yeah.
but unique in their own right, and incredibly
Definitely.
profound on all spectrums.
Definitely.
And like, I needed to take a second to check myself and be like, okay, just because I don't listen to their music and I'm not like, or just because I don't listen to their music that much, and just because I'm not like this massive fan, doesn't negate like how big of a moment and how cool this is.
Yeah, for sure.
I get to work with these guys. Like,
I see what you mean.
To like, when I'm on that stage filming Griffin is a coworker, dude.
Yeah. Fuck.
He is a collaborator. He collabed on the Instagram post. He is a literal collaborator of this piece that I created, which is so cool. And like, that's profound, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what I'm trying to say is like, it's really easy to negate moments like that, or to just brush them off as like not that significant to yourself, the people around you, your career, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Goddamn. Okay, last one.
Okay.
And this is one that you've given me a lot of advice on, actually, is what's something you're proud of and how you've balanced your personal life in the same year that you've gotten engaged to Shy, and also at the same time had the most busy yet successful year in music.
Wow. Okay. This is insane because I'm also coming out with a YouTube video about setting boundaries.
Make sure you go follow his YouTube, by the way, because it's fucking incredible.
There's not a lot on there yet. It's coming.
You're in now.
All right. So let's clear the air first off. The music industry, no boundaries.
Not human hours, as Colton said earlier. Not human hours.
It's nothing about the music industry. It's pace, its scale, anything. Yep. None of it is like sustainable long term. Like, it is a grind from start to finish.
Everybody.
From how fast like you feel like you need to make a song, to how fast you need to follow up the next post, to how long you should be on tour, or if your tour should ever even end. Do you think Marshmello ever stops touring?
No.
Not
when Vegas is in the mix.
Has he ever? Do you think Marshmello has ever like? Shout out Marshmello's videographer Isaiah. Love you, bro.
Taking out 6 months.
What's up?
Taking off 6 months.
Oh no shot, dude.
No
when has he like not played like a Christmas party or a New Year's party? And I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
no.
And I'm not keeping track, so I could be completely wrong. But at the same time,
you're right though.
At the same time, like, and there's a lot of artists of that status doing the same exact thing, and it's like, if you're going to make it in this industry, you need to establish one thing that only you can establish. Yeah. And that's how far you're willing to go.
Damn.
I'm like, and it's how much are you willing to lose or sacrifice to get there. And a lot of people will argue that in order for you to make it, that like you have to sacrifice family and friends and your personal life and all those things. And to some, like, to a certain extent, yes.
But we're all sacrificing things.
Exactly.
Too, right? Like,
yeah. Like, if you have a kid, like, you're now going to sacrifice other parts of your life in order to make sure that kid has the best life possible, right?
Like, a fulfilling life is sacrifice for yourself or for others.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
But to you should continue, obviously.
So,
but like in the music industry, it's inflated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the pace and the expectations from managers to agencies to labels, everything. It is absurd, unrealistic. Everyone wants you to work harder and faster because like the harder and faster you work as the artist who creates the actual product and the value. So without you, aka like without you, their business ceases to exist.
That's correct.
So they all pressure is on you to create a product that makes them money. So the faster you make the product, the more money they make. That's oversimplifying it for sure. Going back to creating boundaries with relationships and other people in my life. I realized really quickly, like I got into music before I came to this realization, but as soon as I went all in, I realized really fast that like the disregard for how other people's the disregard for the way that other people want to live.
Yeah.
Or the complete, like, just like, if you're trying to make it in music, it's not even a question of like, are you going to be home for the holidays? It's no.
Yeah.
Which is really sad. And it's like, I guess, and I mean, if you, depending on the holiday that you celebrate, but
yes, that's
anyways,
true. Yeah.
But like, that's beside the point. It's like, I realized really early on that it was cutthroat, and like people would like go at you, or like just put out like general statements like, if you're not staying up until 2 a.m. grinding, like, then you're not gonna make it. And like, if you're not doing this or that, or if you're not, you know, like doing whatever the industry says you need to do in order to be successful, then like you're gonna lose and you're not gonna make it. And like, at first I subscribed to that. At first I was like, yep, this is the way. I'm going to work until I die. Like, just like, I'm going to work myself into the pavement, like, just to no end, you know?
Jesus.
And maybe to bury like a lot of like personal things as well. And that's, you know, I feel like a lot of people in music deal with that stuff as well.
Definitely.
But like, then I got a girlfriend, and then I got a fiance, and it's like,
Shout out
you
Shy.
don't, shout out Shy.
We love you.
Love you. It's, you, like, pretty soon, when you start to mess with some of the most important relationships in your life, when work starts to mess with some of the most important relationships in your life, that's personal.
Yeah.
Like, there are lines that you don't cross, and I was raised in a family that prioritizes like loyalty and love, and just like being like, you are there for that person because like they are a part of your life.
Yep.
And that is like
They're there
non-negotiable. You don't like they could be gone tomorrow, and if you don't take the time to just like develop that relationship, that's like, and again, everyone's gonna have like different definitions of success and all of that stuff. But for me, it was, I'm not going to shoot 3 shows a weekend. I'm going to shoot 1.
Yep.
I'm going to not do 4 festivals a month. I'm going to do 1.
Yeah.
Like once a month I go out and, you know, like put my entire being into like a weekend or whatever it is, you know, and then I recover for a week, and then I spend the next 2 like grinding on local stuff or remote editing or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it was like establishing right away, okay, when I walk out of that office, work mode is off. Work mode is off. I am not like, or like, for example, a lot of times when like Shy would get home, because I work at home, she would just like walk through the door. And I'm like, well, I'm not done working.
Yeah, the door closed policy.
So like that was a boundary. It's like, if the door is closed, please wait until I come out, and I will let you know exactly when I will come out, and I'll come out at that time.
Right.
I've not just kept to that all the time. That gets me in trouble, but that's why we set the boundary.
Yeah.
Like, and it's things like that, and just like I stopped changing my rates when someone would say no. Like, that's another boundary. It's like, okay, you gave them your rate. They told you, even though maybe they inquired about you, you told them their rate, and then they say, no, your work or your service is not worth that much to me. How about this? And it's like, no, I don't want to work with someone like that. To be honest, you just don't like,
which can be temporary
see what I do.
Though.
Oh, for sure. And especially in the beginning, you don't have that luxury.
Right. In
the beginning, you do not have the luxury of just like, yeah, no, I don't want that money. That's fine. At $250, like, what is that? Like 3 like monthly subscriptions at least. Like, those are expensive subscriptions. Anyways, but you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
And hopefully you guys see what I'm saying too. Is like,
it's
just it really is a constant battle, but it comes down to setting boundaries to create the life that you want to live. If you set those boundaries early, pretty soon everyone that's around you and everyone that interacts with you, including your clients, now know that those boundaries exist.
Yep.
So like I don't respond to clients, like most clients, unless they're special, past like a certain time of the day. So like let's say like usually 7 or 8 p.m. is a cutoff for me, and I will not respond to anyone. Like unless
Smart.
you're like a specific person that like, you know, I have a relationship
You
with.
were the
like,
first person I saw that had the do not disturb thing on.
Who?
The do not disturb.
Yeah.
I think you were the first person that I saw that, and I was like, wow, what is that?
On my door?
No. When you text.
Oh yeah,
Do
yeah,
not
yeah,
disturb
yeah.
setting.
Yep. I had put on like I created like certain times of the day my phone goes into a different mode
Yeah,
where
you're
it
good at
bounces
that.
certain people because like they're
You
not.
just don't need to hear from them.
No. It's like I'll be on my phone at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and
I'll
we can
respond
discuss
then.
then.
Yeah.
Whether that's email, phone, whatever. Like you don't have to call me at 11 p.m. because you just like inspiration struck or something or like. I get it. We're in music. I get it. Like, there's a lot of people working extreme hours, and like maybe the only time that you have during the day is that late hour. Well, then you got to type it all out in email because like that's not the life I want to live. Is like waiting until 11:30 or 1 in the morning to get an email from like a client for feedback or something. Like,
So you got to set boundaries for yourself, is what I'm hearing too.
based
right?
on the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're fine with staying up super late and like being a night owl, then create boundaries that help you to perform to the best of your abilities at night. And then during the day, like you have different boundaries where it's like, don't wake me up. I'm sleeping until 3 p.m. every single day. Like, hypothetically, you know.
So true.
So like, and there's too many people that allow the industry to create the life, and that's a downward spiral.
Yeah,
that's a dark
yeah.
place to be. Is when you get into an industry, and this is another video that I'm gonna make. Is I have a lot of friends that started out in music, and they left because the budgets weren't there, or like the artists didn't value them, or they got screwed over, or for whatever reason. And it's like,
And they just get fed up.
it's like at a certain point, enough is enough, and they're gonna go to where like the money is. But they got into music because of the passion, because of the love for like the culture and the environment, and like that was like one of the things. Like I created a boundary for myself that was saying I'm not gonna leave music. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yep.
And it's gonna suck, but we're gonna figure it out because like I can't live a life where I'm creating stuff to sell a bunch of products or ads about products that I don't even care about, or people that I don't care about, or like or helping grow a culture or a company's bank account that isn't interested in giving back or like whatever it is. Like So that's that's kind of like my mindset in a nutshell, and how I don't know.
It's very wise, bro.
I
You're
came
so
to the
young,
conclusion, man. Like, there's too many people around me in the industry that like you can just see every request that comes through. Like they will bend over backwards, and like it's not even their fault. Like it's just the way the industry works.
Quo.
And
like the short, like to give a specific example.
Yeah.
When there's a status quo in the industry for a videographer to complete a recap video for $200 and it be in their inbox the next morning, that devalues the entire videographer industry, right? Because there is somebody that will get it done. There's somebody that's next in line. Same thing for the DJ world, just to give people a specific example. Yeah.
Like if you do and now, like, okay, so let's go from that mindset, that videographer mindset, to the mindset I'm in now.
Yeah.
If you're paying for an overnight edit, oh my God, I'm making a goddamn bag.
Because that shit's insane, bro.
I will gladly stay up for the amount of money that I would bid, or the rate that I would ask for an overnight edit.
Right.
Like I will gladly stay up.
Well, what about the on-site shit though? How about that?
Again, it's the same situation. I'll stay up infinite amounts of time because they're like, I feel that, like, I feel taken care of, and they did not try to negotiate my rates. They accepted like what I like gave them, and they were like, "Yep, we'd love to have you. Like, you're a valued part of the team. like all the things, flights, hotels, everything's paid for, like plus rates on top, plus travel day rates.
Yep.
Like there's such thing as travel day rates, like for videographers, where and this should also be for artists, I feel like, too, if this isn't a thing already. But it's like every single day that you are on someone else's time that you can't make money, you should be compensated for it.
Yep.
So if I'm on a flight from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m., like it's like
Jesus.
that entire day, like let's just say that's a long
Saudi
it's a
Arabia
long
again?
flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But like it's like I need to be compensated fairly so that, like, because I couldn't make money during that time. I could have done 3 edits in that time.
Yeah.
And that's lost money.
Right.
Like if we're speaking from a business point of view, is like it is like time is money, and if you want my time, you have to compensate it for me. If I'm not doing actual work for you, that's fine. But like, yeah, travel rates obviously are significantly lower, but it's still on the days that you're not doing something, those add up. It's important.
Bro. I knew that was a good question to ask you, because I
Yeah,
know that
man.
you've been through it in your own ways. And I know, you know, you and Shy have had a lot of conversations about this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that resonates with me, too, because my wife is not in the music industry, right? And it's hard for them to understand.
Yeah, it is. And it's what I found too, like something that's like really healthy and like beneficial is like the more you know about your industry, the more you know about your own culture, the better you conversations you can have with others. And that's not just coworkers. That's the people that you are around every single day, the people you love, mom, dad, fiancés,
they
wives.
give unbiased viewpoints is what I found. Like Maya has actually given me some of the best advice. Like, you know, you get really excited about things, especially when it's the first time with something, and she goes, is this going to move your career forward? Right? And she's not saying it in like in a judgmental way.
She's like serious.
She's like, help me understand why this is a good decision for you at this point.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, maybe it's not.
They bring you back down to earth, and
They
they're like, listen, from an outside perspective, this looks stupid.
Right.
Like I don't understand how you're gonna make money from this.
Decision.
Yeah.
Money.
Like how are you
grow
gonna
your brand? Are you gonna get followers?
Is this gonna move you forward in your
fans?
career?
Is there a connection you're making?
Yeah.
Things like that,
yeah.
right?
And like my advice to anyone that is trying to
Don't be fucking stubborn like me and Colton sometimes, right?
No, you have to let them into your world.
You do.
You have to show them, like, okay, maybe, okay, for example, like Shy so many times is like, well, that's stupid, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. Like the music industry is weird like that. I don't understand why that works the way that it is, but there's nothing I can do right now. So I'm just trying to bring you into the world.
Yep.
Explain to you how this works as of right now, and I'll try and change that. Mark my words.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, how can you bring them into your world and help them empathize with you? And then also what's great too is once they have a better knowledge of your world, they start to like pick up on like the language that you use, and like they understand the environments that you're entering. So like, for example, I'll be like, hey babe, like this, I just got an inquiry for like this budget, but they want this, or like, it's like, but they're this person, and it's like, okay, opportunity versus cost now. And like, she knows that. And it's like, okay, but opportunity wise, this would be amazing, but financially
it sucks.
Not smart.
Right.
So like, if we're only looking at financials, and like, again, she's brought me to this place now where I'm like, if we're only looking at finances on a lot of these interactions, not worth it.
Right.
In any way, shape, or form. Again, that's no shade on anyone. It's just, it's like every circumstance requires like a reassessment. And again, like we talked about, like acquiring new skills and stuff. Every time you acquire a new skill, you have to reassess. So like, again, today's price is not tomorrow's price. You have to, if you're constantly learning, that statement will forever ring true. And it's just like, yeah, making sure that the other people that are in your corner, in your circles, the people that you're closest to, that they know kind of like what you're up against or what you're dealing with. And like, don't like shut them out. Don't like let them, or don't leave them in the dark and like just go about your days just being like, well, I'll be back at 2 a.m. Like, you have no idea what I'm doing until then. Like, until, like, for example, like when Shy started to come to shows where I was working, like, she, like, I think that's what, like, was like a major realization for her, is like,
See the world.
I'm not just partying. Like, I am working my ass
You're
off
not partying.
every single show.
Yeah.
Like, like most times I'm only drinking water and a fuck ton of caffeine.
A fuck ton of caffeine. Colton takes me home every time at like 6:30 a.m.
True.
Yeah.
Ghost Energy, let's go.
Ghost Energy,
Shout out the
shout
boys.
out.
Shout out
Yeah,
the boys,
bro.
Johnny and Dan. But
Fuck ton of ghosts. You were a bang guy. You
I
ghost
was,
guy?
and then I met Dan and the Ghost team, and I'm like,
It's way
it's better. It's just better.
Bro,
It's just
Bang
better.
was the energy
They
drink
were?
on my rider in San Diego.
Oh, no way.
Mini ones. They're killing it.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Ghost has new mini Orange Crush ones.
Yes, that's what it was.
Nice. Oh wait, the Ghost?
Yes.
It was Ghost.
Yes, it was Ghost.
Not Bang.
No, I'm saying in
Oh,
San
I
Diego.
interpreted it as they had Bang. Ghost. That's awesome. That is so awesome. No, Ghost. They've been showing up everywhere.
They're killing it.
It's so dope.
They
so,
were at some music festival recently too. It was
EDC
like,
Orlando. They had an entire setup. I got to hang out.
And it's
with
like
them
mixed
stuff.
drinks they're making. It was at home base too. That's where I was playing. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, dude. They're plugged. Like the team. Yeah, they're all winning. They're all goats. I love Ghost Energy.
Yeah, it's
Not
fucking
sponsored.
awesome. Chicago based, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep. Main hub is here. Yep.
I need to get him on the podcast.
You do. Well, all of them.
All of them.
All of it's
Can
a
they
whole,
fit here?
That's a whole crew, dude. They got gamers, videographers, like head of video, head of photo, head of like artist relationship, like stuff.
That's
like
so dope.
they have an entire team built out, dude. It's so sick. Yeah, and they're all top tier.
They're killing it.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, man. Damn. Well,
Wow.
Colton,
I'm sad it's over.
We could do this all night. We could
We
literally. I
could.
think this has been 2 hours, honestly.
Really? Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's insane. We got plenty of content now.
Yeah, it goes by like that though.
We
man.
got clips for days.
We got clips for days. But I want to once again just tell you how much I appreciate you and value you as a friend and a confidant in the music industry, and just how much I respect what you've done, where you are now, and just how excited I am to see what you do in the future, man. Because
Thank you, man.
you are special, you are hardworking, you are talented, you are genuine, and you just get it, bro. You really do. You just got a good head on your shoulders, and I think that is unfortunately sometimes hard to find. You know, a well-rounded person that's doing what we're trying to do. And, you know, it means a lot to me on a personal level to be side by side with you, knowing that we're trying to do the same thing and go the distance, and we can help each other achieve these goals.
Thank you, man. That means so much. And like, dude, you one of the highest praises that you can give any creative person is like believing in their vision and believing in like their and like who they are as a person, and like what they want to do and where they want to go. And like, you have unwaveringly, like through all these years, like supported me and like my vision, and just
Of course.
sometimes like you don't even know what's going on, and I'm like, trust me. And you do every single time, dude. And I'm so appreciative, because there's not a lot of people out there like that that are willing to let go of that control. And it means a lot. Seriously, for you to trust me like that is insane.
Man. Of course, bro. I got your back, and I know you got mine, and let's keep doing some dope shit together.
Let's go.
Finally, Colton on Sherman the Booth, baby. Let's go.
Finally, dude.
Man, do I love Sherman the Booth. Oh, hey, I think you do too. Hope you enjoyed that piece of content. If you're looking for more, make sure to go to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any upcoming Sherman the Booth interviews, live sets, new music, exclusive artist interviews, Sherm's Word, sub-pack reviews, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything entertainment. Cheers.